Each one of us has four different natures that make us up. Okay, the four natures are our physical body, our mental capabilities, our emotional capabilities, and finally our spiritual nature. So see, there's four parts that combine together to make you who you are. And even then, you're still really not you. Okay? You really, anyway, we're going to get into this. This is part of the journey. I'm talking about the spiritual journey. And as you start having a spiritual awakening, you start learning how each of these four balance out to make you, or the you that you know here. Not really the true you, but anyway, we're going to get there. The journey takes a while. And before you can start the journey, you got to start educating yourself a little bit. You know, it's like we're going to have to make out a map here of the journey. And this journey, you know, it's a great journey. Is it an easy journey? No, it's not. But it's a journey well worth taking. So, the first aspect of the body I'm going to touch on is the physical body. That's the body that we know, the body we can touch. That's the body that we can see in the mirror looking back at us. That body is fraught with pain, pleasure, and everything in between. Whenever, like, the human body can be, if you have a perfectly balanced out human body, that's great. These things are not easy to maintain at all. And lots of things influence whether you are in good physical shape or not. And the physical condition you're in influences the mental, spiritual, and emotional aspects of you. So whenever you start working on your physical body, you can improve the other three aspects. You can improve emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And also, too, whenever there's problems with you physically, you're going to have problems spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So, physical aspect of your body is, you know, what for your time here is fairly important. I used to treat my body like a rental car. I honestly did not care. And I'm not really saying that I care much more now, but I care in a different way. And I always cared. It was just my body was out of balance and I couldn't do anything about it for a while. God didn't want me to do anything about it for a while, more importantly. Anyway, God needed me just the way I was. And, you know, I'm still basically the same, just different. Anyway, physically though, if you have a lot of pain, the rest of you're going to dull out the rest of your body because the pain that you feel is going to get all your attention. So mentally, you're going to be kind of foggy. Spiritually, you're going to be kind of disconnected. And emotionally, you're going to be feeling pain. That's going to be the only thing that you're feeling. Well, actually, you're going to feel other things. You're going to feel anger and some things like that go along with if you stay in constant pain. So part of this journey that we're going to go on is a physical journey. You know, and I'm not saying you're going to feel, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay? So our physical bodies, you're not going to correct them in a day. And some people, all you can do is try to get as good as you can. And that's all any of us can do. And, you know, it takes however long it takes. Whenever you try to start fixing your physical body, and I'm going to share with you what's worked for me. And one of the things that's worked for me is walking. And I'm talking like, you know, walking like the old ladies with the fanny packs at the mall walking. I'm talking that, you know, trying to like power walk basically. And anyway, I started out about a year and a half ago basically on a cane. My arthritis has gotten so bad that I can't hardly walk. And anyway, I took that I took my body then and I started going a few steps a day. And I mean literally a few steps a day. And each day I would try to go one more step than I did the day before. And I'd make sure I did that. You know, some days it was kind of hard. I mean, it took me a while to even get up to like 200 yards. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I've been in bad shape for a while. And like arthritis is one of those things that whenever you get to where you can't, I have joint problems. I mean, major joint problems. But they don't define who I am anymore. I'm learning how to manage them more. And as you start managing your joint problems, it's able to, and that's part of managing the physical body. You know, it's a aspect of me I have to manage each day. So part of the physical body is you know, the physical nature of it. The physical bleeds over into all three of the other aspects. So we're going to try to take care of ourselves, and I do each day. So there's how the physical body goes in. Now we're going to have the mental part of us. Okay, mental capabilities are our ability to think, to process information, to basically take information from the spiritual, emotional, and physical and put it into a usable form for the other. It's kind of like I call the computing center, the mental aspect is. And, you know, if the computing center is busy computing over here with something else, then the other ways it's going to be kind of slowed down. So, you know, whenever one thing's out of balance, it throws everything out of balance. And your ability to compute is, you know, slowed down by things like alcohol. Alcohol is bad for the body. I mean, like if you have arthritis, it makes your arthritis worse. That's proven fact. I'm not like saying, and trust me, I have drank enough to float the Titanic. Okay? So, let's just understand that, you know, I'm not like criticizing anything. I'm just telling you what's worked for me. Anyway, you know, and it also slows down your mental capabilities. Like if you drink quite a bit, your mental capabilities become impaired. Okay? Now, and as your mental capabilities become impaired, it impairs the rest of your body. Okay? And I'm saying like arthritis also does it. Pain, anything that impairs your mental capabilities. And you don't really realize sometimes how bad one part of your body being off is influencing all the rest of it. And as you work toward it, you can fix some of the other parts. Okay? So see, like if you've got pain in one area of the body, it affects, you know, it's affecting your mental processing capabilities, which affects all the other parts of the body. So see, balancing the mind, body, and spirit is pretty important. And emotions too. Anyway, so the next thing that you got to get into is you've got to start looking at the emotional aspect of us. Our emotions are our emotions. It's what we feel with given every situation. They're also influenced by our physical body, our emotions, because like, you know, you're in a bad mood, let's say. See, your emotions are your mood, okay? Your emotions are what you feel every time you have external stimuli. So every time that you have something happen, that's where your emotional nature comes from. Every time a stimuli is stimulated, you get an emotional response, whether it be something pain, whether it be anger, sadness, happiness. These are all feelings. These are all things that we have to learn how to feel. Okay? And owning your feelings. People want you to suppress that. Anytime you suppress your actual emotions, someone else is able to own your emotions. Well, not really own your emotions. We're going to get into that too. But anyway, like people want you to suppress your emotions and not feel what you're feeling. Anytime you don't feel what you're feeling, then someone else is basically can start to work toward controlling your emotions. And if you control the emotions, you control the person. You know, if somebody else controls your emotional capabilities, they control you. Okay? So you want to get control of your emotions. Well, sometimes you're going to have to get control of, in order to get control of your emotions, you have to learn how to not react. You're going to have to learn to, or you're going to actually have to, it's not really about not reacting, it's really about learning how to react the way that you need to. And at first, you may react totally off the wall while you're trying to learn how to handle your emotions. Okay? Learning how to handle emotions, properly is hard to do. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes there's not a proper response to it. And like anytime people are telling you not to feel something, they're telling you, I'm trying to take control of you. So understand too, and own what you're feeling at that present moment. Only then, once you own it every time that you do it, every time that you have an emotion, you own that emotion. Then can you start taking control of your emotions. Okay? So we're going to start taking control of our emotions, or we're going to get God to help us take control of our emotions. Now, finally, we're going to roll into the spiritual nature here. The spiritual nature is arguably the most important nature, because our connection to God is why we're here on this planet to begin with. We come here to help God, okay? And remember, we are a soul having a human experience, not a human body that grew a soul, okay? So you've got to look at it from that standpoint. And I know a lot of people were taught that we were bodies that grew a soul. Absolutely wrong. We are a soul having a human experience. And our goal is to be here to help God. We're here to help God do His thing and enjoy ourselves while we're here and grow our soul. Okay, so, it's not to come here to stack up, accumulate more crap than everybody else, or to make others happy, or to make others miserable, which seems to be the goal of a lot of people anymore. Okay, so I understand that our goal each day here is to become our best me, one way or another. And the thing is, and spiritually, we're here to grow our relationship with God and help serve God. And God helps us, okay? It's about working together with God, okay? It's about God asks you to do something. You just do it. And whenever you're done, God's going to say, hey, I'm going to help you out for that. But the thing is, you've got to do it without the expectation of anything in return. You do it because you want to help God. It's about learning that our spiritual nature is the nature that we're here to develop. The rest of our natures are kind of things that we just have to deal with while we're here. Our spiritual nature is what we're really trying to grow. That's our ultimate goal here. And the other three natures, physical, mental, and emotional, they influence our spiritual nature. Because whenever you have people that are, let's say, making you angry over here, it starts pushing in on your spiritual nature. Or you have physical pain over here. Some people will start getting angry at God because of the amount of physical pain they have. It starts influencing your relationship with divine. So understand that these four natures, four seemingly all easy natures, very deep, very complex. They are who we are. The four together makes us what we are while we're here. Our soul is what we are in total. But while we're here, and these physical bodies, they don't make it easy. But they're what adds to the challenge of this thing. So anyway, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. That's our four natures. That's what makes us who we are for now. You're going to find out, though, along the way that we aren't even are. So, what are we really? That's what this journey is about. It's about stripping all the other bullshit away and getting down to who we are individually. The one that God needs to help him on this planet. The real you. Or the real as you can get you. Anyway. So that's what the goal is here. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. Peace.